every time you have a show in America, Oscar Delahoya has got a little bit of something to say. So he's come out with a few comments over the past 24 hours. First of all, he said that this is like the prelims for Ortiz's fight. What do you make of that?
It's weird, isn't it? I mean, Oscar's got this really sick kind of obsession with me, you know? Like if you sat down with Oscar and you went to him, Eddie Hearn, like, stop, you know, and just like, imagine that kind of life or mentality where someone can aggravate you so much, having not done anything. I mean, I can't be more complimentary of Oscar De La Hoya. I'd love to work with him more because that's what we should be doing with our platform. But for some reason, I grate him so much, and I don't know why. Like, what has Virgil Ortiz, firstly, got to do with Jerome Boots Ennis? I mean, if you want to get petty about it, Virgil Ortiz is fighting in the Michelob Ultra Arena, which holds about 7,000. He won't sell it out anyway. And Boots is doing double the crowd in Philadelphia. But also, Virgil Ortiz is a great fighter. He's on DAZN. I mean, if he wants to find out how great Virgil Ortiz is, he can fight Jerome Boots Ennis. And we'll settle it that way if he wants. You know, but it's weird. Like, I don't know why you're comparing the shows. You're going to do 5,000. I'm going to do 14,000. Just did Bam against Estrada, one of the fights of the year, top 5 pound for pound in Phoenix. Just sold out in Puerto Rico. We got the Riyadh season event coming up in Los Angeles, one of the biggest shows of the year. Things are great for us. I don't know why you got to keep talking about me. You know, you seem to be very happy with yourself and your life. Don't worry about little old Eddie Hearn. You know?
He also said last night that if Shakur's to fight William Zepeda, he would have to sign the Golden Boy. Yeah. Did DAZN have anything to say about these comments, or is it kind of just...
I mean, if I'm DAZN, I'm thinking, why are you stopping fights from happening on our platform?
Of course, there is Eddie Hearn, and he's expressing his thoughts about Oscar De La Hoya, stating what he feels about Shakur Stevenson and unwilling to make fights with Eddie Hearn. And to answer Eddie's question, why would he be trying to stop fights from happening on the same platform? And the answer's simple. It's called desperation. See, Oscar knows that his shows are smaller. He has 5,000 in his last show. Whereas tonight, Boots Ennis will be fighting at a 14,000 arena capacity. There's no comparison to that. You shouldn't want to compare those type of fights. You know, and Oscar saying that, hey, he would have to sign with us. When I say he, I'm talking about Shakur Stevenson, and I'm talking about other fights. You would have to sign longer deals. That's what I mean by desperation, because, you know, promoters want to lock fighters in for a long period of time because they want the percentage of what the fighter gets. Just like this, just like the sanctioning bodies gets the 3%. Well, promoters get a lot more than that. So they know, well, hey, we want to make our money off of this particular guy. Okay, we don't want to sit here and wait. We don't want to sit here and let them have 1 fight or 2 fights. No, we need a long locked-in deal because there's no guarantee that they're going to get other talent like that. So the whole idea is to lock them in to ensure that they get their 15% or 20% or whatever they get, right? Being a promoter. That's why he's doing that, whereas Eddie has a different mindset because Eddie has much more going on. He has more fighters coming, you know, than going. And, you know, Oscar knows that Eddie's coming over here and signing American fighters and doing shows like that, and he's already pissed about that shit. Okay, so he's already mad about that. So, yes, he's going to want to make it difficult for him because he doesn't want to work with Eddie. He wants to be better than Eddie. Okay, that's the difference. That's that envy mindset. You know, you want what somebody else has. You know what I mean? So jealousy does turn into envy at times. And this is what happened with Oscar. See, Oscar had Canelo for a long time. Okay? And when he stopped having Canelo, you noticed the bitterness set in within Oscar De La Hoya. You know what I mean? That's why, you know, Canelo and Oscar, they can't stand each other and all this, that, and the other. But, you know, Oscar, you know, had to point the finger at somebody, and the finger to point at is Eddie, because Eddie was the guy that was in control of Canelo's career for a certain period of time. You know, that's why when Canelo lost, you know, Oscar was proud. He was happy about that, because he thought that that was like, aha, that's what you get for going with somebody else besides me. That type of shit. And Oscar's pretty much had it out for Eddie ever since then. And to work with Eddie, to Oscar, Oscar's looking at Eddie like, look, I don't like you. I don't want you around me. You know, that lets you know that face off between them two, it wasn't authentic. It wasn't genuine. Okay, that's, you know, Oscar, we want the best fights. No, Oscar wants to be better than Eddie. Okay, he wants to compete with Eddie because Eddie is the guy that he feels is his direct competition, and in fact, you know, he's gonna have to compete a lot harder to keep up with Eddie. So he makes it a lot difficult with, as far as fighters that's in his control, you know, to really deal with Eddie, because he wants to be better than Eddie. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think of Eddie Hearn and his thoughts about Oscar De La Hoya. Of course, please subscribe. Peace!